Under the same roof, we share the love, embracing the differences like hand in glove. Spreading peace and joy, it's a beautiful sight. Together we shine in each other's light. And how do we stand in love's pure might? Watching the world share in love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.
And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Watching the World News at Noon. Today, we have a lot to unpack, especially with what's happening in our country and around the world. Today, also, we'll have a special guest from Texas that's actually right in the midst of all that's happening. She's attended the trial for Karmelo Anthony. And on top of what I've shared, she can share some of the points that came out in the case that are quite beneficial for understanding what happened in regards to this trial. This morning, I woke up to a new case in regards to a young white man that was killed in Philadelphia. And already we have a similar narrative being pushed in regards to Karmelo Anthony. And I said to myself, this is something else. Let me tune you guys into what's happening in regards to this case as well. As you come in, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And thank you guys for tuning in. I see we have Drabanot in the building. And also, Stella, thank you for all you do. Let's check out this case.
All right, the city of Philadelphia is searching for answers tonight after a Penn State senior named Billy Schmidt, home on summer break, was shot and killed in his very own neighborhood during a robbery. There is new video tonight of the suspects in this case, which you can see on your screen right there. Two young men taking the life of another over what? An iPhone? To help make some sense of this, or try to. It's impossible. The host of Crime Stories on Fox 1, Nancy Grace. Wow, you sent me a summary of this today, and I was stunned at all you knew.
I mean, the world is at a roar in regards to Karmelo Anthony case. It doesn't matter which side you're on. Many people have dug in their heels with a position on the narrative. So imagine now we have a new case not that far from me in Philadelphia where a young man, white on top of that, comes home. You can already see how this is going to swing, but let's get to it.
Explain this.
Well, let's just call it what it is, because it's there in black and white video, not just the surveillance video that you're showing, but all up and down the streets surrounding the murder. That's what it is. It's a murder. These two killers.
Folks, this just happened last night. On the heels of Karmelo Anthony, you have a similar scenario. Just check it out.
Had never met Billy Schmidt.
Shout out to Udo on Go.
A 22-year-old Penn State student majoring in digital journalism. His dream to join the Philly Eagles. That was his dream. He was gunned down in the road like a dog, a few yards from his parents' home. This is what happened. That night, he was out with his friends watching the NBA playoffs till about 1 a.m., walking home. And you can see on the video leading up to the moment of the shooting, these two perps, suspect one and suspect two, ducking and diving, hiding behind cars, hiding behind trees, getting up close to the shooting area. They approach him. They take his iPhone.
I'm actually going to travel down to cover this case, and I must say it's going to be quite the challenge to cover this. I mean, Philadelphia has tough places just like New York. And I guess Udo on Go could explain that to you. So I have to be careful. Udo, maybe we could team up to go down to Philly.
He goes after them and says, "Hey, please give me my phone back." Turn around and shoot him dead in the street. That's what happened. They had never met before. There was no argument. There was no self-defense. I don't want to hear it. because I have seen that. Now, this is what I guarantee you. I guarantee you that these guys, these two perps, are both going to be charged. Don't take a plea deal, Philly prosecutor. I know it's tempting to take a plea deal from the non-trigger man. You don't need to do that. Don't be weak. Try them both for murder. Schmidt shot once in the chest, dead. He bled out on the street. Right now, what they need to be doing, and they are sending out this video, is sending the casing, which was...
So they took the guy's phone, right? He's home from college. And then he goes and tries to man up to get his phone back, and he's shot dead on the street. I'm going to show you the next video after this that they catch some of this on video. Believe you me, we're heading to a dark place. Believe it.
Found to Nibbin. What is Nibbin? It is our national ballistics database. I guarantee you these two have a record. They may be juveniles. It may be hard to find, but they've got a record. And we're going to get fingerprints, and we're going to get a ballistics match. Fingerprints.
All right, Udo on go. Good. I'll come through, man. I'll drive down there. Just we'll put it together. We're going to go cover this case. It's tough. Definitely not a place you want to go by yourself. Believe that. But I'll let Udo explain that to you.
Off that phone, his own father retrieved his phone.
Unbelievable. Let me move down to Texas and get your take on this. The fallout continues from the Karmelo Anthony conviction. I mean, his parents now blaming the jury's racial makeup for their son's guilty verdict, which took less than 3 hours. Take a look.
My son didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself.
What stuck out to you?
What stuck out to me, number one, was the all-white jury. But I was trying to be, like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the truth is on our side. It's unfortunate to where nobody wins. We've all been hurt by this. Everybody.
So I just want to tell you guys something I observed. I don't know the details. I have to talk to JLR, but I want to give you guys a little insight. Sometimes we go cover this case. Uda can tell you. You'll have a guy walk up and shake your hand and say, sir, how you doing? Are you fine? Right? Next thing you know, they have you on the big network spinning a story about you, saying something negative. I saw JLR down at this trial, and the guy walked up, and it was a guy from, I guess, ABC. He says, can I mic you up? I heard JLR says I'm mic'd up. See, that's the setup. Then all of a sudden, a guy came to him and started asking him about a personal case in his life. So I say all of that. This family needs good coaching, somebody that knows what they're doing, because one station will bring you on and they'll ask you those nice questions, but then it gets passed on to all the networks. And then you get all these YouTube channels that many of them are racist, and they start talking about this family like a dog, right? But you have to understand, and that's why they need someone with good guidance.
He admitted he did it, Nancy. You know, this comes as they face allegations of using the money.
Stop.
Go ahead.
This was not an all-white jury. There were 3 Hispanics, 2 Asians.
That's not true. There was not 3 Hispanics. See, you should have called me on your channel, because then I could tell you exactly the makeup of the jury.
2 people from the Middle East and India in that jury and alternate pool. I don't know why everybody keeps saying it's all white, because it's not. That said, you heard the mom say, and I understand she doesn't want to believe her son would do anything wrong. I get that. I have a son almost the same age. Then why did he show up at a track meet with a knife? Why did he go to the opposing side's tent and get up under it? You were talking.
All of that I could easily explain to you because I was there in the courtroom. In fact, as far as the 3 Hispanics, I could tell you right now, there were 3 Middle Eastern women, 1 Middle Eastern man. There were 5 white men, 5 white women, right? There were 4 Asian women at this trial, 1 Hispanic, okay? And that made up the entire 18. So you see, even on the big screen, unfortunately, misinformation is getting spread. That's why people like myself and Udo on the Go, we actually go to the trial, sit there all day long, right? And navigate through the case, come back and tell you what's happening, because you see what gets to the main screen, right?
about Wimbiana a few moments ago. Would Wimby go over and sit on the Knicks side on their stool? No, he wouldn't. He's not welcome. They asked him to leave. He wouldn't leave. Instead, he provoked. He said, touch me, see what happens. As he had his hand in his backpack, pulled out a knife and stabbed. Now this.
See, here's the problem with the narrative, right? What they're not telling you is that he had a friend in common by the name of Eddie that he sat with at the other track meet. And many of these kids came in and said they go and they sit under other people's tents, right? So we have to tell the whole truth here. And she says that basically, they paid Austin as the altar boy, but Karmelo shouldn't have had a knife there. We get it clear, right? But they don't mention that Austin, a kid testified that Austin used a football linebacker move on a boy at school. Who gives you that authority? If you keep your hands to yourself, you won't have these type of problems. You see what I'm saying? So there's problems on both sides, but the mainstream media, they give you a narrative that they spin. We're going to move on back to this case last night. I'm waiting for my guest to come on. Hopefully she'll be up anytime. Hit the link. But now let's see what the family had to say about this young white gentleman. Unfortunately, lost his life last night. I point out the color because you're going to understand the narrative, right? And that we can't see the faces because you see the mask. But for last night, they were gracious enough by not saying these are black guys. But notice what's implied. And if you look at the video, I think you can come to a reasonable conclusion of where this is headed, right? And it's wrong. Nobody's trying to take away from that. But I'm telling you, we have to figure out a better way forward. Let's get to it, folks.
I want to get to the grieving family of this Penn State student, Billy Schmidt. That family is now talking in an interview with Fox News. He was 22 years old. He was a senior, shot and killed near his home in Philadelphia. Police still searching for.
Okay, so let me give you an example. Here is Sherry. Okay, Sherry Berry. Well, I can't see her whole name. Just admit you don't believe in accountability. Anybody that's a thinking person, have I said anything on this show that would lead you to believe that I don't believe in accountability? So people come in the chat. I've never seen this before, where people are just coming in. I don't even know if it's real people, if it's bots or whatever it is, but this is why we're headed for trouble, because people are not even listening to what you're saying. They come into your chat and they spew nonsense. And we're fortunate that she didn't call me a name, but last night when I look back at the chats, I mean, there's so many chimps and monkeys floating through that. How can we move forward peacefully when you have this type of behavior? And guess what? We're just not going to stand for it. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm going to put you on the screen every time now. Thank you. Let's keep moving.
Suspects. CB Cotton has more on that as we get a bit more evidence. And CB, good morning to you.
Hey, Bill, good morning.
See that? This host loves killers. What a shame, right? Have I implied anything other than telling you what happened in court, right? So now we're starting to understand what's happening out here. And you see why there's so much hostility in the world, because some people don't even want to be peaceful. They just want to stir up confusion, right?
So investigators say Billy Schmidt was gunned down by two suspects trying to rob him. Schmidt's family is now pleading with the public for answers.
You got to clean the city up to stop the violence. I mean, this can't happen every day.
They deserve to spend the rest of their lives in jail for taking away my brother. And I don't think no one will ever understand this pain that they have caused. They are animals for doing that to him. He was unarmed. And all this for a phone. It just doesn't even make sense.
You could feel her heartbreak there. So Billy's father says his son left a neighborhood bar on Saturday and was only 50 feet from their home when he was approached by two men who stole Billy's phone. Surveillance videos from neighbors captured the verbal confrontation. You can see two hooded suspects pacing on the sidewalk. Billy can be heard demanding for the suspects to return the phone, and then he chases after them.
You know, this is a shame this young man lost his life on the streets like this, right? and he tried to go back and get the phone. Obviously, these guys had a plan for it because they have these masks on. But imagine if this happens to you on the streets, especially you're coming home from college to spend time with your family, but you don't even get a chance to make it there because of this type of behavior.
Another surveillance video shows a different angle. You can see there a suspect in a black hoodie pointing a gun. We've frozen the clip the moment the gun was fired. The district attorney's office says officers have recovered a spent shell casing and continue to canvass the area. Billy's father says he found his son's phone shortly after the shooting, and now investigators are looking into whether it could hold a key piece of evidence.
They have a print on the phone, but they don't know if it's mine, Billy's, or the person who threw it. But they're trying to get DNA off the phone, and they took video cams from a lot of neighbors.
Billy was a senior studying digital journalism and media at Penn State. The city of Philadelphia is offering a $20,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest and conviction. A vigil in Billy's honor is scheduled for tomorrow.
Wow.
Okay, so we're going to keep in tune with this particular storyline because I'm pretty sure it's going to turn into a court case at some point. Definitely would be covering it. Also, we'll probably be boots on the ground when this goes to court. They'll probably have these individuals. If Philadelphia is anything like New York, they can track down whoever does these type of things fairly easier than what we've seen in Arizona with Nancy Guthrie. That case is still wide open. So we're still pushing news at noon. When our guests come on, then I will get to the Karmelo Anthony case. But right now, we're going to keep moving. And now we're going to take a look at what's happening with Donald Trump and Iran. Let's check it out.
And President Trump canceling.
And guys, hit the like button, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for all the support.
Planned strikes on Iran, saying there has been progress in discussions with Tehran leadership. The president saying in part on Truth Social, quote, discussions and final points have been made in both concept and great detail, approved by all parties involved, including the United States, Israel, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Turkey, Pakistan, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, Egypt, and others. The Navy blockade will remain in full force and effect until this transaction is finalized. Time and place of the signing to be announced shortly, writes the president. President Trump also revealing a peace deal could be just days away. Watch.
We just made a great settlement of the war with Iran, and we're going to be subject to finalization.
Put a 1 in the chat if you're still feeling the heat from gas prices and also just a trip for grocery shopping. Are you really feeling the pinch? Or put a 2 if no. Let's see what everybody has to say in regards to this matter, especially this war has a dramatic effect on what we experience. Let's see what, okay, Remedy says yes.
Of documents, we should get done over the next few days. We'll probably have a signing maybe in Europe, and it's a great thing. Stock market's up 1,000 points. That means they like the deal. Oil's dropped. Oil will start coming down to, I think, even lower than it was before.
Joining me now is former CIA station chief and Fox News contributor Daniel Hoffman. Right now, Dan, thanks very much for being here. The president says Vice President J.D. Vance will be in Europe this weekend, potentially to sign a deal. What's your take?
Now, we've been hearing about this deal for far too long at this point. Do you guys really think we're going to have a deal? Weeks on end, we continue to hear about a deal, and every time they get close to a deal, there's a ceasefire. And then all of a sudden, overnight, we hear about more bombs being dropped, especially from Israel and Hezbollah, and the list goes on and on.
Well, we don't know a lot about this deal. The president alluded to the fact that the deal would ensure that Iran would not be able to build out a nuclear weapon and that the Strait of Hormuz would be opened. But beyond that, we don't really know a lot. And if past is prologue, and listen, even a couple of days, I can tell you from all of my experience serving in war zones in the Middle East and South Asia, 2 or 3 days is like an eternity. There are a whole lot of things that can go wrong, and forgive me for being a little bit pessimistic, but it's the Middle East. And Iran has absolutely every incentive to want to delay negotiations. They know that the United States derives its leverage from not only the blockade and sanctions, but I think first and foremost from our military strikes. And Iran has found a way to limit the impact of our military strikes by carrying on this illusion that they want to be tough negotiators. We'll just have to see if this time it turns out differently. But if past is prologue, I don't expect much to change.
Yeah, I know. I understand, given that we've been here before, some areas of the Pentagon went on lockdown.
Okay, we're going to keep moving here so we can get to Karmelo Anthony. I want to show you this in regards to Iran as well. Let's check it out. Guys, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Breaking this morning, we could be just days away from a historic peace agreement between the U.S. and EU.
So again, we're hearing about another peace agreement. Let's see if we can get some insight into the deal.
This morning, the White House has called off any new strikes after days of increased military pressure on the terror regime. And thank you for joining us. I'm Jan Jeffcoat. Happy Friday, everybody. It is June 12th. We want to now welcome our Charge viewers live with us on the East Coast and recorded on the West. There has been a major breakthrough in negotiations with the Trump administration, now appearing closer than ever to securing a deal that could be signed as early as this weekend, already in a sign of significant.
Okay, we have Living Life says it's market manipulation always on Thursday. The orange felon insurrectionist states it's done. Then 2 weeks later, he does it again. Thank you very much. It's a new name. Nice to have you here at the channel.
Progress. President Trump has called off another wave of attacks on Iran just hours before they were scheduled to happen.
We just made a great settlement of the war with Iran, and we're going to be subject to finalization of documents. We should get done over the next few days. We'll probably have a signing maybe in.
Okay, so this is why people are calling the president of the United States Taco. It means Trump always chickens out, and it's because we see the threats about bombs being dropped, and then he changes his course. Many would say that that's the art of the deal and negotiation, but that's what we see online.
Europe, and it's a great thing.
We want to get to Angela Brown right now at the live desk with the latest for us. Angela, good morning to you. The president has a lot of assurance this is going to get done and done very soon.
Yes, he does. He feels very confident about this deal. In fact, he said pretty confident that this will get across the finish line and very soon, Jan.
Are you confident that this will get across the finish line? I'm definitely going to be continuously covering this case. All right, we have our guest here, and I'm going to introduce her, and I want to let you guys know, let's give her a warm welcome. I think she was probably one of the best individuals to cover Karmelo Anthony's case. And you guys can only imagine, coming from me, that's a strong statement, but she was out there so strong. You know, there was a lot of individuals out there with their own agenda. Some of these are paid actors, and for a young lady to be out there pushing back on all of the noise, I found it to be quite amazing. She knows the local area. That's her home stomping ground, as we would say, probably in New York. Let's welcome to the show. We're going to have QUEEN88 here, and let's give her a warm welcome. All right, QUEEN88, how are you?
Hi. Oh, thank you. I love the intro. Thank you so much.
No, it's true.
Thank you so much. And I apologize. I was late because I was trying to send a redirect. You know, on YouTube, you can do a redirect to send your people over, but it didn't work. So I thank you so much for having me as well.
Yeah, I think it's very amazing to have you here. You know why? Because I call you like a foot soldier because you're so strong, almost like the tough guys. You were probably tougher than the guys out there. I noticed one thing, that a lot of people were coming to you as the source of attention, and you were answering so many questions. What is your thoughts about this case? Fair or not fair?
It is not fair. It is not fair at all. And Mel, you were in there more than I was. I couldn't stomach some of it, so I had to walk out.
Right. I saw that. I saw you trying to get out at certain points. They played that 911 call. I think that was tough because at some point I noticed that the mother of Austin was crying pretty much all day. Did you notice that?
I did notice that. And I also noticed Jeff was barely crying. I'm just going to put it out there. Jeff was barely crying.
Right, right. I don't think I observed him crying, so you're right on point. Could you tell us about this case because we don't know a lot about the case approaching the trial? Can you tell us go back to when this happened? What was it like down in Texas when this incident occurred?
You know what's weird? I've been covering this case since last year around, I want to say like April the 5th, when we got word of it. People swept it underneath the rug a little bit. It wasn't a big deal. It was a big deal to me. It wasn't a big deal to our community. It really wasn't. I didn't see a lot of people blogging on it. The news just said it happened and they kept it pushing. And then the next day, Jeff tried to come down to Dominic Alexander's place of business, acting like he wanted to pray, and he got kicked out. And it really wasn't a big deal back then. It really
What
wasn't, to be
was
honest.
was there a racial element at that time?
No,
No?
not at all. Nope.
Wow. What about as far as the news cycle? When you turn on the news every day or go on your Facebook, was everybody talking about it?
Some people were. As time went on, the mainstream really wasn't, talking about it. But far as like, I would say on Facebook, they were definitely talking about it because they were just posting pictures, a lot of fake pictures. Carmelo with a gun and um, Austin with a butcher knife. It's just a bunch of chaos. But after that, it kind of died down.
Oh,
Of course,
okay.
because he got out, and there was a lot of people that were angry, especially when the GoFundMe or Give Send Go people were donating. They were pretty upset. But as far as the mainstream, no. As far as Facebook, of course, yes.
Okay. How do you think it affected young people around that time that actually were in school?
I actually had some time to talk to some of them while I was sitting in line. A lot of them, first, they didn't believe it happened. Second, I asked them how'd that affect you, and they was like, "Well, I mean, we really didn't care. Like it had nothing to do." These are privileged kids. Let's talk about that first. These are privileged kids. So if it wasn't them, they kind of didn't care.
Oh, wow. Wow. So you're saying that these two kids were higher up than most then, okay? Wow.
No,
Um
as far as like the surrounding kids, it wasn't really a big deal to them. I feel like our kids are really desensitized when it comes to stuff because they've seen so much that it wasn't a big deal to them. They also showed me an email when it happened. Frisco ISD sent out an email saying, "Oh, some things happened, some issues occurred. We have everything under control," and that was it. That was all. They just went on about their business.
in court, numerous witnesses said, and in fact, they said when Carmelo had his hand in the bag, allegedly on the knife, we don't know at that particular moment. That's why I say allegedly, but his hand was in the bag. At some point, obviously, he grabbed the knife, but they say Austin said, "Oh, he doesn't have a knife. We're in Frisco." What is it about Frisco that a person wouldn't carry a knife?
I would say Frisco is like the upper echelon of the DFW area. Frisco is the rich area, the a little bit predominantly white area. It's different from Dallas, which is kind of like the ratchet, rugged. Frisco is like the upper echelon. If you live in Frisco, you made it. Frisco, Plano, McKinney, Melissa, Anna, all those are areas to where if you make money, then you go straight over there. It's more safe, and yeah, it's more of a safe like community.
A lot of people said that maybe the population was about 8% black, I believe, and 60% white, and then in between. Does that sound about right? Or you
You're
tell
right.
me?
You're right. It's not a lot of us, I want to say. out there in Frisco. But the reason why we moved to Frisco is to have a better life and a better education for our children. One thing I noticed when it comes to Frisco education, they're more advanced as opposed to all the other ISDs. Frisco is more advanced. So if you're coming from ISD that's kind of behind Frisco, it's going to take a lot to catch up. So my brother's actually graduated from Frisco ISD.
Okay. Wow, that's something. So tell me, uh, in preparation for this trial, was there a lot of commotion? At what point did people really pick it up? Because it became a national, international sensation.
To be honest, I don't know. I wasn't even focused on everybody else. I was just focused on me getting the word out. When I first went out there last Thursday, I was just showing my people because I protest before. So I was showing my people, okay, y'all, this is what's going on. We got the trial coming up June 1st or whatever. We're out here. This is what it looks like on the outside because we were trying to see where's there going to be any racial tension. So I started to blog on that. Next thing you know, they start coming at me, and that's all she wrote. I kind of wasn't really, tapped into what everybody else was saying. I was on a one-track mind.
Right. What was the defining point for you in this whole case where you realized that, oh, this could get ugly?
Far as the protesting or far as the courts?
Yeah, the protesting, because on the last day things got rowdy, but even along the way there were hints of trouble.
I would say when Jake Lang came,
Oh boy,
he
tell us about it.
came with an energy like they were like he's the leader. Like he gave me like leader vibes. Like I'm here. Like whoa. I didn't see that at first. I actually was talking to one of the guys that wasn't on our side. I was actually talking to him. I called him Papa, and we had some great dialect. But when Jay came, I was like, whoa, okay. He's for real. He came with a vest. I'm like, what do you need a vest for? Nobody's gonna shoot you. So when he came out, I was like, okay, it's this man's for real.
Now he eventually was arrested. Could you speak on that?
Yes, um, we were protesting. I'm not gonna lie. He said something to me about me and our children. I said something back to him. He made a threat about him. It's your channel, so I'm gonna be like modest. Him doing something to Karmelo in a disgusting manner, causing physical bodily harm, which is a crime, a terroristic threat. I asked him about it.
Hmm.
He repeated it again. Because I know we say a lot of stuff out of anger, but in order for me to really see is it anger or do you feel that way, you need to stamp it. So he said it again. I said, oh, okay. So I showed my camera to the police officer. And he didn't do anything about it. Well, some guy just over there said they were going to do this and that. I said, okay, cool. I tell Dominique, like 2 days later, what happened. Dominique calls for action. Boom, he's in jail the next day.
Wow, I've heard a lot about that. It took a lot of bravery on your part to be able to stand up to someone that's trying to push you around.
Yes, and I did understand that their rule is to get us so upset to where we get physical because they're trying to say that's what Karmelo did. But see, I'm with Karmelo. As long as you don't touch me, we're cool.
Okay, I see that there's been some contention between you and also perhaps even the father of the twins.
Yes. Last night I was watching another content creator, and keep in mind, I ended up getting into it with another lady. I don't want to say her name. She gets no clout off of us, but everybody knows who she is. She's been attacking me, Nick and I, a lot of us, even out there. She was attacking us in line, attacking us outside the courtroom, attacking us. So we've been having a little back and forth squabble. Keep in mind, I don't know these people that I'm arguing with. I don't know them. I don't. But the way I am, you talk about me, you disrespect me and mine. I'm gonna disrespect you and yours. That's me. I'm never gonna change it. I'm unapologetic and I don't care. So keep in mind, I don't know these people. So she was just saying discussing things, going back and forth. I went back and forth with her, and I'm just baffled, Mel, how, and I'm trying not to cry. I'm just so baffled that we as people, we cannot, it's a crime to stand up and say how we feel. Really? I don't understand. If we can go against each other, what makes you think that we're not gonna go against somebody else? I drop my stuff. We have to, what I call it, keep that same energy. I'm with that versus anybody. I don't care. Everybody knows Queen88. They're not new to this. I'm new to the world. How could she? People like, man, that's just her. She's gonna say what she wants to say. That's just her.
Right. Why do you think? Let me ask you this question. Going back in time, they say that Jeff offered an olive branch to the family of Karmelo Anthony, saying that I forgive him. He wanted to pray together. How was that interpreted?
That was a lie. That was a cover up. That was BS. That was the how my friend Coolin, she's in the Mo3 sector. That was the overplay for the underplay. And let me break that down. Let me show you what that means. You're playing in our face. You came acting like you're on piece of positivity when you really want to be nosy and you want to antagonize, just like your people do, Jake Lang. That was fake. That was fake. That was basically show the media that you're not on that type of time, but you really know deep down in your heart that you are.
Oh, okay. So now saying all of that, because I was trying to understand, and maybe you could help me tremendously today. How did we get from him wanting to pray together to yesterday saying that Carmelo was the watermelon felon?
He's been feeling like that. He just has to, he had to mask it. He had to suppress himself because he can't, remember he said he had a gag order. So he said he really couldn't speak out until after the trial. He's been feeling like this. And you know what's so weird, Mel? I
What's that?
actually laughed with him. Like he didn't give me any racist vibes. But duh, you're not allowed to do that while you're in court. Basically, you have to save face until you get what you want, and then you can go ahead and express how you feel and be yourself.
Wow. Did you watch the video where he was talking about, slavery and all these type of things?
Yes, I did. I watched a little bit. I had to click out. Somebody else played it. But I
Wow.
watched. I seen enough.
Do you take that as just a man in pain because he lost a son, or do you think there's a bigger picture here?
There's a bigger picture. And the reason why his son is no longer here because of his upbringing and the way that his dad thinks. So it's a bigger picture. I don't feel like it has anything to do with his son. He's the reason why his son is not here. He's the reason why his son is maggot food. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but go ahead.
Okay. So typically, I get it. There's a lot of pain. You need to be able to express yourself. I get it, right? Let me ask you this
Yes.
question. I cover a lot of cases. I think you know that. Diddy, all these cases. In the court, the first instruction they give you is that you cannot make a sound, right? Not a sound. In this particular case, there was crying pretty much throughout the day. Do you think that was by design? Do you think it was just pain? Or do you think down in Texas, they allow you to do that where you really can't do it in New York and other places?
I would say that's by design. You know, man, when we first walked in that court, that man was so mean. I was like, what the? Like I had tapped one of my people that was outside when I first got in there. That man said, there will be no talking. There'll be no standing up. There'll be no coughing. Or you will get like he was. I'm like, damn, am I on trial or am I watching it? You know what I'm saying? There'll be no whispering. I'm like, okay, well, I can't whisper now. I'm gonna go ahead and write a note then. You know, I'm gonna find me a way to get around some shit. I'm gonna find a way to get around. But he was very just anal when it came to, I guess, us sitting in listening to the hypocrisy that they were doing. So I felt
Mm.
like that was designed. It's like cry on cue.
Right, right, right. I want to ask you a series of questions. I just want to briefly get your opinion. I want to show you a video. I'm going to go back in time and show you something that Hunter said that didn't even come up in court. So we're going to get to that real quick, but let me run this past you first. All of those kids came in and they said that Eddie really didn't talk to Karmelo that day, didn't really know him. They basically did a fist bump and that was it. But under cross-examination, they really showed that Eddie and Karmelo were quite good friends or associates all the way back to 2023 when Karmelo dated his cousin. They showed that they were playing video games together. They were going places together all times. Why do you think Eddie was hedging his relationship with Karmelo?
He was scared. Intimidation. See, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We don't know. We don't know who reached out to who. We don't know what friend said something. If you do this, they're going to do this. We don't know. But I can definitely say that that man did not stand on business and he was scared. Keep in mind, even though your age may show you being a certain age, doesn't mean that your mentality and emotionally that you're of that age. He was still a kid at the end of the day, still a baby. That's why I call Karmelo our baby. Even though he's 19, he's still our baby. He was
Okay.
scared.
Okay. Here's another example. Eddie, he testified in court that Karmelo called Austin a bitch, and then Austin called him a bitch back. But then Toby Shook, the defense attorney, he says, listen, when this happened, do you know that you were recorded? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Do you know that in your statement then, the transcripts, you actually said that Austin said to Karmelo, I'm going to move your bitch ass up out of here. And Karmelo said, move my bitch ass then. Why do you think that Eddie reversed the whole scenario?
I'm not going to lie. Either he was paid or he was scared. I'm really starting to think he was paid.
Okay.
I think it's a monetary gain.
Okay. One of the kids, right? He said that when Karmelo put his hand in his backpack after they had engaged in an argument, he told Austin, don't do it. I feel like he has a weapon. Why do you think Austin did not heed the warning?
Because it never happened. They're lying. It never happened.
Wow.
And then let's just say it did happen. Looking at the father, they give me entitled vibes. I do what I want to do. I say what I want to say. I behave the way I want to behave, and you can't do nothing about it. So let's just play devil's advocate and say that did happen. He didn't care. You died behind a tent that did not belong to you. That's an ultimate L. You died behind a school tent.
Wow. A lot of people even now are saying, listen, he was in a place where he was not supposed to be. How would you argue that?
Well, for one, we clearly heard them say that these kids sit wherever they want to sit. That's one. For two, you can't tell me I cannot be somewhere we don't have designated seating areas. We didn't see a sign saying the opposing side can't sit over here. We didn't see a sign. Therefore, tells me, my spidey senses tells me that I can sit wherever I want to sit.
Wow. So let me ask you a really tough question, but I know you're big for it, right? The big issue here is that Karmelo had a knife in a school environment, not the school, but the track meet. What is the argument to get around that?
Okay. 3.5-inch knife. It wasn't 5. They lied and said it was 5. It's 3.5. You were in there.
Yeah, correct.
It wasn't prohibited. Far as the state. This is the state of Texas versus Karmelo. This isn't the school. Am I lying, Mel? This is the state of Texas versus Karmelo.
That's true. And the defense in the opening argument said that the knife, as long as it's under 5.5 inches, is not unlawful. And they stated that this knife was 3.5 inches, but it was just prohibited from the arena, we'll call it.
Okay, I think your phone cut out, Mel. Is that my phone? It's my phone. I'm sorry. Say it again. I
Okay, no
apologize.
problem. No, the defense in their opening arguments, they said that as long as the knife is under 5.5 inches, it's legal, it's not unlawful in Texas. And
Correct.
they showed us in accordance with a ruler that this particular blade was 3.5 inches. It was
Mm-hmm.
the defense said it was a multi-purpose tool, and they put the
Facts.
picture put the picture up. It seemed to have about 6 different uses. It could have been more, could have been less. But they did
Yeah,
also put
I
up.
would say.
Go ahead. No, go.
No, sorry. Go. I would say it's to sharpen his cleats. You
Okay.
sharpen his cleats with that knife. If it's a multi-tool, that means I can do multi things with this tool. It's like a car. We know a car gets its point A or point B. We know we can also run you over with it too. So
Right.
it's like it's a catch-22.
No,
Everything can
good
be
point.
considered a weapon.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that was a sharp one. You did a sharp one. That's all. Go ahead.
Oh,
Good
sorry.
point. Good
Yeah, so
point. Good
everything,
point.
thank you. Everything can be considered a weapon. A car, motorcycle, a bike. I can sit there and ride my bike so far I can run to a tree. That's a weapon.
Okay. All right. Very
So
good. So to counter that, the prosecution put up a photo that showed a sign saying that alcohol, drugs, weapons are prohibited. How would you address that? Because the defense made no mention about that. They never tried to establish why he had it at the event. What would you say?
why he had alcohol or say it again or drugs
Or weapons? Yeah, or weapons.
or
They
weapons? Like I said, it's a Officer Cortez clearly said that that is labeled as a multi-tool. They use remember he said that they use that to cut seatbelts.
correct.
He also I gotta get my notes, but I don't want to like miss, phrase anything. But
Can
he
I?
also said that they use that for go ahead.
No, I just want to build on what you just said. The officer said they actually carry the multi-purpose tool to cut seat belts. Anyway, go ahead. That's all.
Yeah, they actually use that for different purposes. I mean,
Correct.
there's really no way to elaborate. He could have sharpened his cleats. He could have needed that to cut off something. Like, there's no way to elaborate.
Right. I just want to address a couple questions here. I don't know how long
Go
I have
ahead.
you. I don't know how long I
Oh,
have
you
you
had me
for. I
for
know.
about an hour. We good. You
Okay.
don't got to
Okay.
support. You know
All right.
that.
Thank you very much. So, Mrs. Pretty P says Mello was set up by Eddie. After asking him to come sit with the twins, proceeded to swarm him while Eddie fake recorded and then tried to jump in the fight. Okay. The everything you said is pretty much accurate. I did not hear the part about Eddie jumping into the fight, but thank you. I can confirm the other things that you're saying are true. Okay, so we have another super chat. Thank you guys for the super chats. All the super chats today will go to my dear Queen88. Okay, so anyway, let's see here, Queen. Another one. It says, did y'all know that Jay or Jeff Metcalf was charged with SA in 2011? See, I don't know anything about the guy. Maybe you could speak on that,
Yeah, we know that.
Queen.
We know that. We doxed him a long time ago. We doxed him last year when he was going down there messing with Dominique, which is our community activist. We had already did all that. But we're past that. Now we can assault each other all day. We need to be talking about the injustice on what happened in that damn courtroom. What you did, you already did.
Okay,
What
thank
you've
you.
done in life has nothing to do with this damn trial right now in this public lynching that I witnessed.
Could you expound on that? There was a doctor that was out there this morning. She was calling it a public lynching. Can you explain what's the explanation behind that expression, basically?
Yeah, I told the news that. And now they probably tried to, I don't know if they edited it, but I don't care. Yeah, it was a public lynching. Let me tell you something. So, you already beat him when you locked him up. You already beat him. Gave him a high bond, had to fight to get the bond together. You got Jeff pulled up at their place where they want to speak. You already beaten them. Trying to public humiliate him, trying to make him out to be something that he's
Okay.
not. So basically, you're walking them down before the trial starts. You're walking him down to where you're about to hang him. You're walking him down. You've been walking him down since April the 2nd of 2025. So now we get to the trial. You're beating them. You're lying on them. You got people coming up there lying, not keeping their story straight. And I'm not going off opinion. I wrote down verbatim what Jalen said, and I wrote down what Nathan said. Those boys, they lied. You say one thing, but then you say something else 10 minutes later. So when you tell one lie, you got to tell another lie to cover up the other lie. One thing about the truth, it never changes. Never changes. You got Jeff over there coughing, acting like he just so sick. Well, if you're sick, you stay your ass at home so you don't get everybody else sick or wear your mask.
Wow, you caught that too. Amazing. Wow. Just
Of course.
observations in the courtroom. Yeah, good.
And Mel, look, I'm sitting right behind him.
Yeah, I noticed
Sitting
that.
right behind. I was right there in that corner to the left. So you're already walking them down. Now, this is when you hang them. We would have been okay with a manslaughter. Because let's just be honest. I wouldn't have been okay with a manslaughter. The society, I want him to walk. The society, yeah, whatever. As far as the community, they would have been okay with a manslaughter. You gave that boy first-degree murder. When clearly the facts showed that he was remorseful. He didn't even realize what he did. And am I lying, Mel? Because we saw Officer Cortez's body camera.
Right. Just
I'm
truth.
not going
That's
off what I heard. I'm going off what I seen from the body camera.
no,
So
talk
it's
about it.
showing that he did not, huh?
No, I said talk about it. Go ahead, break it down.
Sorry. So I'm going by what I seen off the body camera. This is actual footage of the situation in real time, IRL, for people to understand. This was an IRL in real time, April the 2nd, 2025. This wasn't edited, nothing. It clearly shows the young boy was remorseful. He was crying like a baby, crying out for his mama. I ain't never seen no mass murder that when they ill, and I mess with a lot of illers. I ain't never seen them be remorseful. When you meant to do it, you ain't finna cry. When you meant to do it, you're not gonna cry and weep and say, is he okay? So that goes to show you that that was not intent.
Right. Wow. I want to show you something. You have a moment. I'm going to show you this here. I want to ask you, why wasn't this brought up in court? Because remember, all of the kids came in. They walked right through it. They told us everything basically they saw and heard. Nobody mentioned in this particular case that Austin grabbed Carmelo's backpack. Correct?
Correct.
In court. Okay, so let's check this out.
My son is not here anymore, and I don't.
Let's see here. Okay, here we go.
Just tell me about what happened today. I don't know. I got a phone call from Hunter.
Guys, this is about a year old, maybe like 9 months or so, but check it out. This is what they're saying earlier on. And the twin brother is going to share some information about what his brother did that was never in court.
He was screaming that Austin had been stabbed.
And also, Queen, if you need me to stop so you can make an expression, let me know.
I was at work, and so I drove. I work in Grapevine, so I drove up to the hospital straight away. I actually beat the ambulance there. Yeah, I saw them have him come out. He was on a lot of machines, and it didn't take long for them to come in to say that he had passed. So, not sure, senseless act of a boy that was in the wrong tent, and my son doing the right thing by telling that boy that he needed to be removed from where he was, and just doesn't make any sense. I mean,
So she said her son did the right thing by telling that boy to move from a place that he shouldn't be under the tent, right?
And you know what? I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I agree. Let me tell you why I agree. They told us that the coach said that he was in charge, right? So of course he's gonna do what the coach says, right? And say that you shouldn't be underneath the tent, blah 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 blah. But if you see that this person is not listening to you and they're not leaving the tent, what you supposed to do? You're supposed to go tell an adult. Say, hey, he's not listening to me. What do you want me to do now? You didn't do that. You took matters into your own hands and proceed to get physical with him. You are not allowed to put your hands on me. You can say whatever you want to say about me. You can call me everything but a child of God. You are not allowed to put your hands on me if I'm not opposing a threat.
Okay.
Karmelo was not being a threat. He was still sitting down, planted in his seat. How is he a threat?
Okay. So can I clarify something for you? Something you said?
Your phone's breaking up.
Okay, you can't hear me. I said I want to clarify something you said about the coach. Can you hear me? Okay, you're
Yes,
having
I can
trouble
hear you
hearing me.
now.
Okay, so when you said that the coach asked him to be a leader, I think everybody needs to unpack that and understand what it meant. The coach had actually kicked him off of the team because they were not following certain rules. And so the day that he lost his life, the coach wrote him a text message and said, son, I need you to be a leader. In other words, step your game up. You don't go from being kicked off the team to now you're the team lead, okay? But it's the prosecution's job to express it that way. But I just want to make it clear you should be able to pick that up in the transcripts when you read it. But technically, the coach was saying, listen, I need you to be a leader because he was kicked off the team. But anyway, keep going.
No, but peep this. We know that's what it meant. But let's speak as to how the media didn't hear all the ins and outs of what we said. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right,
Let's play
right,
devil's advocate. So
right.
I don't want them to think, oh, she's all pro, she don't care what nobody say. No, I'm coming from different aspects. So we agree with these people that he's being a leader and he's telling him not to be in there, not to you should leave. You still have to tell a teacher at the end of the day if it's not working out.
Correct.
Whether you're being a leader or you're not being a leader, you still have to tell higher authority that, hey, it's not working out. This guy's not listening to me. I don't know what you want me to do. It's out of my hands.
Right. Thank you very much for that. So let's check it out. Let's go a little bit further. Thank you so much.
and that's my, just because the kid was mad, my son is not here anymore. And I don't understand it.
Tell me about Austin. What do you want people to know about your boy?
Oh, he was the most amazing kid. Oh, so smart. He had college football guys looking at him to play in college. His goal was to play in college. He just wanted to play football. His life was going to the gym and working out and being a leader on his football team.
I just want to say, sitting next to her, not far away, she was so emotional all day. You could actually hear her crying. I would see the jurors looking at her, which is understandable. But for them to play the entire 911 call for 6 or 7 minutes, that I think it was brutal for the mother to sit through that. I just felt like that was a little bit too much. What did you think about that?
I've been in a murder case before with my cousin Deanna Cook. That made national news. Was murdered by her ex-husband on the phone with 911. So to me, I think that's just standard protocol. That's just what they do.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Let's get back to it.
And he just had such ambitions and a drive that it's hard to find in a kid. And he's just such a good spirit, and so many kids loved him. And his brother's lost his best friend.
They're twins, right?
Yeah, identical twins. Yeah.
They've been like,
They are the best of friends. Like, just, I'm so worried about my son because he's gonna have to face this world alone now because he had a brother that was with him the whole time, and now he's gonna have to do it alone. And I'm
Literally, that's what I heard throughout the day in court, and I get it. I understand it.
I don't
But
see not one tear. I'm sorry. There's no way in hell, Mel. My child is this and that. And you just go ahead, Mel. I apologize, yes, sir.
no, go ahead, express yourself if you want to go.
Mel, this, this, I don't know. I don't
Okay.
see no sincerity. Now, everybody does grieve differently. So I'm going to give her that. But I don't think when it comes to children being a mother, I think we all grieve the same. I think
Right.
we all grieve the same. But go ahead.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
just so worried about him. I really am.
was Hunter with Austin today?
He was. They made him go away when they were doing CPR on him, but he was there when he was stabbed, and he was holding, I guess, the wound to keep it from. He was trying to save his brother, but I think he said he saw when he took his last breath, and before the CPR came back in. So, for what I heard, he was unresponsive for 5 minutes. They were able to revive him a little, but I think it was too little, too late.
What can the community do for your family?
They need to support the kids at the school. Austin was loved by so many people. They need to know that there's other people out there for them and not against them, you know. And Frisco Memorial has got a football program it's in a process, and we want everybody to know that it's a family and they're there together. So, but just to put your arms wrap around the support. This is Hunter. Did you want to talk to him?
Oh, man.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
He's a good kid. We just got a little altercation, and that's really it. But he has a good heart. Everyone knows. Everyone around here knows he's a great kid. He just one mistake from that dude, and just took my brother. He didn't deserve it. No one deserves a loss from a family like that. I know people that lose their family members all the time, but I just didn't know it was gonna be mine so soon. My best friend and my brother my whole life, but if y'all could just not y'all, sorry. Just thank y'all for just comforting us, and the Frisco area has been comforting my family and me, and I just really appreciate everything that everyone's done. It's a really hard loss, but we're gonna get through it with my family, so we'll just stay together. I mean, our relationship is really the tightest I've ever seen in somebody, between two human beings. I mean, we did everything together, clean the dishes together, do the yard work together, sports, you name anything in the world, it's always us two and one thing. So you're always just basically one.
So they did everything together. You note that?
See, that's why the defense, come on, man. I'm not a lawyer, and I could have fought this case. I swear to God. I'm not a lawyer, I could have fought this case. We do everything together, which means you guys got together and told him to get up out of his seat. But go ahead.
All right.
In person.
You guys just a few minutes apart?
4 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Austin was first by 4 minutes. He got stuck in me.
So technically, your bigger brother.
Yes, ma'am. He does a lot of big brother stuff around. He's always on my back. Even if I'm in the wrong, he'll always take my side no matter what. It's just really heartbreaking to see someone that cares for you that much and does everything even by your side no matter what, just pass away like that.
A lot of the kids says that Austin would take care of everybody. He was a protector. Queen.
So that's automatically giving that I fight, I protect. You're protecting a tent. I don't understand. I just want to know why the defense didn't. I don't know.
Okay.
Mel, how are we picking this up? But the defense, this is how you know the defense was rigged. The defense was rigged.
Okay. You make some good points. Now we're about to hit that point that we're waiting for about the backpack. Let me roll through.
Your mom told me that you were there.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't mind, what happened?
There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. He's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I looked at my mouth.
Okay, so why wasn't that in court at all? That's baffling to me. You know what I mean?
That's
Now,
very baffling. Make me move. Let me tell you something. One thing I do notice being a grown 37-year-old woman, can't nobody make me do nothing. Okay? So I do stuff because I want to do it. He needs to just be, they need to just be real and say, even if Carmelo had said, make me move, that don't mean you got to do what he tell you to do. By him saying, make me move, okay, let me go get somebody of authority and they're going to make you move. That don't mean you put your hands on me. And why was this not brought up in court? How come this video was not brought up in court? That boy's he's gonna get a retrial. I don't care what the community say. I don't care about none of that. He's going to get a retrial. And if you don't want to give it to us on the state level, oh, we'll just go to the circuit. Don't worry about it. I'm on mute.
okay. So if you think about it, though, he didn't say he took the backpack. He said he grabbed the backpack. And remember, the knife was in the backpack. So it gets to be a little confusing because it seemed to be stemming around his backpack that Karmelo actually left laying on the ground when he ran away. So something is not jiving for them not to. 12, 13 witnesses, and none of them mention him grabbing the backpack, right?
That is correct. That's correct.
I can't quite understand why one didn't mention that. And even Hunter never took the stand for us to actually hear about it. And again, we're just going through this case as we do many cases. So that's why we're discussing this today. But I wanted to at least get to this point with you in the video so you could, I wanted to hear your expression as to why we didn't hear about this in the case. I think it would have been very instrumental. What do you think?
I totally agree. I totally
Right.
agree. Because him grabbing the backpack clearly shows that's showing aggression. So you go from touching my property to touching me. But then you lied and said, hold on. Nathan said that he had his hand in his backpack looking at Hunter. Jalen said he had his hand in his backpack looking in outer space while Hunter's just, not Hunter, excuse me, Austin, while Austin is just in his face mail, just talking all this crap. His hand was in his bag and he's just looking out in space like it's premeditated. We knew what they were doing. They were setting the scene.
Wow, man. Thank you for breaking down your perspective of this case. I really do appreciate that. I don't want to keep you too long because I want to keep having you come back. I just want to show you something else and just get a little feel of it. And hopefully you can elaborate a little bit. Let me show you this.
Answers to that. I know the answer to that question, but I got to ask it for the record.
100%.
You've been on the bench for some time.
Yep, I've been on the bench for about 20 years.
20 years. And this is the end.
And then 6 months will be in the end.
Did you want to take on this trial?
I wanted the Collin County Judiciary to take on this trial. It was important to me to have somebody from Collin County preside over this Collin County case. So I didn't ask for it. No one, that's not how it works anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for it, but I was certainly willing to do it.
For those that are watching, this is the judge on the case, Judge Roach. And Queen, I don't want you to get in any trouble. You live in the state, but we're just going to check out. I want you to see that this was his last big case. So let's check it out. I don't want you to get any smoke with a judge or something like that. So I would rather keep you chill.
because that was my duty.
In your conversations with, my guess it's an administrative judge who goes, I know they go down the list and they say, all right, it's your turn and it's your turn. As they go through all the conflicts of judges that may, potential conflicts, when they come and say, John, this may be yours, your first reaction is?
I'll take it. Every time. I think it's my job. It's my duty. That's what I was elected to do.
Yeah.
That's the oath that I took, and I'm going to do my job.
No consultation with your family? Or
None.
No.
Nope.
And where does that come from?
I don't know. I think it's just duty. I think duty, whether that's duty in the Marine Corps or just duty to my family and stuff, I take duty really seriously. And I took this job to perform that duty. And if that's what I had to do, that's what I have to do.
Did you fully at the time grasp the enormity of that decision and the outside stuff?
I don't know. I think in some ways I did. I think in other ways I didn't. I certainly knew it was very, very important case within our community. I didn't think I realized the enormity of the social media and the media during the trial.
How long have you been prepping for this trial?
If you want to jump in a little bit, but I'd say please don't say anything in regards to the judge because I don't want no issues with you.
Oh, I don't care. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't care.
God,
I stand on
please.
what I said. I said on national TV that he was working with the damn prosecutor. So I don't think me saying it again that
Okay.
they're gonna give a damn. Yeah, he's working with the prosecutor. Rebecca Lopez even said that. Also, let's pinpoint the fact that shout out to Candace Matthews, but Rebecca Ben said this. Rebecca Lopez, WFAA, sat outside with me and Bree West and said that the damn DA has sexual assault cases. So I say, Rebecca, how come they don't want to show this in court? I asked her that. I said, why come they want to show it in court? She was like, well, they're saying that it's because the kids, the minors, for one of them, they're not minors. For two, I've looked at plenty of court proceedings where they allowed the cameras to be in there, the films, but they didn't show the faces. We just heard their voice.
Okay.
Then for two, what judge, this came from Rebecca, what judge do you know shuts down the whole courts just for one trial? So that means all the other judges fell in line. They don't have to do that. You know that, right? They don't have to just say, we're not going to have court because you have a high profile case. They don't have to do that. In Dallas County, it's plenty of high profile cases, and other judges are still having their proceedings. So it's something up with this judge. This judge, what judge do you know is helping the prosecutor object, leading the prosecutor? What judge do you know is doing that?
Wow. Crazy, crazy. If we have any moderators, please check the comments. Some of these comments are out of control. Thank you for your comment. I'm going to keep rolling through a little bit here.
I've been prepping for this trial with the departments, with the Collin County system, with the sheriff's office and everybody for about 8 months.
Is that the longest you've ever had to prep?
100%.
Why?
Logistics. One of the critical pieces of this case where we had minors who were testifying. Prior to me getting the case, we had some of those witnesses doxxed and swatted and revealed on social media. I didn't want that to add to the already traumatic event they've been through, and I didn't want them to change their testimony or be uncooperative with people trying to call them as witness out of fear. And so my number one duty at that point in time getting the case was to how do we protect those minors who are critical to this case to come and testify.
So he says he's trying to protect the minors.
They're not minors. They're not minors. And if they were, they weren't even minors at the time it happened. Because if that's the case, you wouldn't have charged Karmelo as an adult. They all are out there, all the same age.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I'm sure you've already read and know that one of your fellow judges has already been doxxed and swatted and all the
Yes,
things,
I did know that.
and still no reluctance from wanting to take it on.
None.
Yeah. The decision to not have cameras or any kind of streaming, was that an easy one?
Yes, it was an easy decision, and I'll tell you why. My primary goal in any case is to make sure that the defendant and the prosecution gets a fair trial, period. I have seen from other cases around.
So he wanted them both sides to get a fair trial.
It wasn't fair. He's a liar. We know somebody gaslighting us. It wasn't fair.
Right.
It wasn't fair. So I feel like Karmelo's best way is to get an ineffective counsel. That's the best way. Because to be honest, in appeal, nobody told him to go get that lawyer. So the best way is to get the ineffective counsel.
Okay, thank you.
Around the country where cameras in the courtroom changed the way that the judge acted, the lawyers acted, some of the witnesses acted, and we were not going to have that here. We were going to really isolate the purpose for which we were here for, which is to have that fair trial, and cameras in the courtroom did not enter into that equation at all.
How much grief did you get from people around you about that decision?
I don't know. I don't listen to it. I just flat don't listen to what's going on the outside. I do what I think.
He say he doesn't listen to the noise.
Yeah, you do. You watch the news. You see me. Stop playing. You watch the news.
Is right.
He
no matter what
watches.
decision that is. And I sleep well at night knowing if I follow the law, then everything works out like it's supposed to. And so these outside influences, all the noise from the outside, I really isolated myself from that in this case and in all cases, and just do my job, do the best I can, following the law.
How do you think we're talking with the attorneys, other attorneys outside of this. How do you think they describe you?
Strict, no nonsense, fair, and that to me is the most important part. I know for a fact when I make a decision here, people are unhappy. What I hope is when they walk out the door that they think they got a fair trial, or a fair hearing, or fair something. And if they do that, no matter what they think about me personally, then I've succeeded.
And you're okay with any of those characterizations?
I think they're fair.
Yeah. I hate to have to ask about stuff that emerges on social media, but I have to ask it. And I know you don't know of any of it because you're not on social media.
I'm on it. I mean, I'm an elected official, so I have a Facebook page and stuff. Do I look at it? Do I monitor it? Do I let it impact me? None. Not at all.
So I have to ask, do you have a personal relationship with the Metcalfs?
I wouldn't know Mr. Metcalf prior to this trial if he walked up to me and said hello.
Okay, so according to his testimony, or his statements rather, he didn't know Jeff Metcalf or the Metcalfs.
Well, clearly we know that's a lie because Metcalf just said something else in his interview, but okay, we'll go with it.
All right.
I don't know the Metcalfs.
He lied.
I sympathize with the Metcalfs and what they've been through and all, but I don't know them personally. Never have.
So these AI images emerging of you and them at a party or drinking together, all
Never
of that.
happened. And that's the problem with social media, isn't it? You can't tell what's true and what's not true. I will tell you, I got some reports of some things that were coming out of this courtroom, and I wondered to myself, were they even in the same courtroom that I was? It's that bad, and I think that's tragic, because I think really if you just listen to the case based upon the facts, you'd understand it so much better.
Do you think it reinforced your
Mel,
decision to not have?
Mel, this is my first time hearing this. What does he mean? Rewind something about what's going on inside the court. Wait. What did he say?
I'm going to replay it for you.
Thank
some
you.
reports of some things that were coming out of this courtroom.
Hold on.
Trial,
Here we go.
if you walked up to me and said hello. I don't know the Metcalfs. I sympathize with the Metcalfs and what they've been through and all, but I don't know them personally. Never have.
So these AI images emerging of you and them at a party or drinking together, all
Never
of
happened.
that.
And that's the problem with social media, isn't it? You can't tell what's true and what's not true. I will tell you, I got some reports of some things that were coming out of this courtroom, and I wondered to myself, were they even in the same courtroom that I was? It's that.
So, Mel, what do you think he means by saying, I got word that some of these things, you got the truth? You got us bloggers speaking the truth on what's really going on versus the mainstream media? Is that what you're saying? That we're
Yeah.
blogging on the real and what we've seen? Is that what you're saying, sir, judge? That's what I gathered. Because that's the only thing that was being talked about during the trial is the injustice that we were seeing, the lies that we were pointing out. I'm just saying, maybe am I reaching too far? But that's
No,
the only thing that I can think about.
he's going to break it down, but he's very clear that some of the reports, it's almost like people were reporting things that didn't happen in the court.
Oh, cover up. Okay, let's go.
Bad. And I think that's tragic because I think really if you just listen to the case based upon the facts, you'd understand it so much better.
Do you think it reinforced your decision to not have cameras or streaming inside this?
Sort of. I will tell you this. Sometimes I think maybe I should have at least the audio streamed or something so people could hear it. But at the end of the day, I don't think no matter what, people are going to distort whatever happens or whatever they hear into their own agenda. And so what's the point? And again, that noise affects people. It affects the fairness of the trial, the safety of the witnesses, the safety of the jury. And those are my primary concerns, not what social media says. And it's not my duty. I don't think it's my job to feed social media or the media stuff. I certainly understand the role that media plays in a case like this, but I'm not here to feed it. And I took that very, very seriously.
But Judge, when people don't have access to the trial or the courtroom, doesn't it invite speculation?
Well, sort of, but I got 70 seats in my courtroom, and I had 200 requests by the media to sit in the courtroom. So let's say if I just entertain the press, then I have nobody from the public watching what's going on in their county. And so I had to do a balance between the media's right to know and to be able to report what's going on, because I think that's extraordinarily important. I think it's important that the general public had access to the courtroom and to see what was going on. And so I tried to balance all those things with the primary, again, purpose of having a fair trial. And I think I struck that balance pretty well.
But the media's right to know is the public's right to know. I mean, is the public's access. We are the extension of that public.
I think somebody from the public who will wanted to come watch a trial and know that they were excluded from a trial because all the media was there, I beg to differ.
Do you think there was a possibility for a learning experience? I mean, people do not know about how trial works.
Queen, you still good on time?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Say it again.
Are you still good on time? We got another.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Oh yeah.
We got about 20 minutes, and I'll let you go and have you come back. All right.
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
All right. Let's finish this out. If you don't mind, I wanted you to hear the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to hear that. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Do you think that this may have been an opportunity for people to know how it truly works, and that kind of erases some of the negative notions of court and trial?
I'm doing this
justice.
interview with you to make sure that people understand how the system works. And if they really wanted to, and I mean this seriously, if they wanted to, they could have stood in line with everybody else and had the 27 to 32 public seats that we had in this courtroom that we rotated every day. And so was that important to them? They could have made it in here.
How did you plan?
Guys, hit the like button, share, subscribe to the channel. Also, Queen, can you tell everybody how to follow you?
I'm on every platform, QUEEN88. It's type in QUEEN88, you'll definitely find me. So everything QUEEN88.
All right, great.
Thank you.
For some of the outside noise.
Well, we were certainly playing with the Sheriff's Office and the McKinney Police Department and the Allen Police Department and the Frisco Police Department. So those were talks that we're having 8 months before the trial to ensure the safety of the people out in the parking lots. They certainly had a right to demonstrate and all, and I think we struck a very, very good balance that allowed them to do that, at the same time maintaining safety of everybody involved.
Did it affect your day-to-day decisions?
It didn't. Actually, I didn't. I came in from a different entrance from the courthouse. I didn't come in through the front. I couldn't hear any noise at all from my office. The jurors were not facing the parking lot, so they didn't see anything or hear anything. And I think we did a marvelous job in isolating them and having them concentrate just on what was going on in this courtroom, which was my instruction from the very, very beginning.
What made this trial different?
I think it started off bad. And it started off bad with the doxing and the swatting of the judge and the parties, the witnesses, and all that stuff. So I think it started off bad, and I'm going to attribute that to social media. And I think social media got it wrong. And it is what it is. I think that's something we have to live with these days. But I think it's my responsibility and other judges' responsibility to make sure, no matter what's going on in social media, that someone can walk in a courthouse and get a fair trial.
Did it make it very different when you realized?
So he says it was all about getting a fair trial.
The trial wasn't fair. Like the trial wasn't fair. When you're helping, okay, let me play devil's advocate. What judge do you know is helping a prosecutor, letting them know why they're objecting? Aren't you supposed to say, I object, Your Honor? Now, come on, I ain't the sharpest tool to the shed with the law, okay? But I've seen enough Law and Order, okay? So when they say, I object, Your Honor, such and such and such and such, overrule, sustain, he's helping the prosecutor, telling him why he's objecting. Are you supposed to do that?
No. If it's according to what you're saying, no. I've never seen that before. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So what do
that's-
you mean? We can automatically say that's not fair just by what he's doing.
Okay.
We can honestly say that.
All right. We want to thank Ty Nicole for becoming a new member. Thank you. And also gifting a membership. Thank you very much.
A lot of your witnesses are young witnesses.
No, look, I've been doing this for 20 years. A lot of the witnesses come in all shapes and sizes and colors and all that. And so that was normal for me. What wasn't normal for me is to have those witnesses be intimidated by things being said on social media, because those young people rely on social media more than I certainly do. And so that sure impacted me, to make sure that they did not change their testimony. They were willing to come in and tell the truth without fear of being doxxed or swatted and stuff. And so I took every precaution that I could, consistent with the law, to make that happen.
I know Steve brought it up to you, and I know that both sides probably brought it up as well. The AI images of people claiming to be inside this courtroom.
Yeah, that ticked me off a little bit, because...
Did you hear that? I've never heard that before. Okay, we keep moving.
Because if you're going to call yourself the press, and people are going to depend on you to tell them what's going on in this courtroom, you should be telling the truth. And so Mr. Stoller, my public information officer, brought it to my attention that some news outlets were posting photos saying from inside the courtroom. And it wasn't my courtroom, it wasn't the witness, it wasn't their testimony. And that's tragic, because, again, that just breeds the narrative that these people want to cultivate in our community to drive a wedge between us. And I think that's terrible.
Did you see any signs of that, Queen?
These people
Yeah,
are
pretending they made...
wedge. Who's these people?
Yeah, he said people were pretending, and they had videos and whatnot,
Can you hear
pretending to
me?
be in the court. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on.
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you. Maybe you have to go out and come back in. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. I see a lot of comments coming in while she's coming in and out, what have you, going in and out. Thank you guys for all the participation. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Also consider becoming a member. Thank you very much. Let me add her to the stage. Okay, I can hear. We could hear you, just so you know.
Okay, I'm sorry. So these people draw a wedge.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
The
but he...
jurors were falling asleep, Mel. They had no notepads. Now, you mean tell me, all of those witnesses that were speaking, including the EMS, paramedics, whatever, the school teacher, the witnesses, freaking police officers, the criminalist, whatever she call herself, the criminalist forensic. You mean to tell me you're not finna write down nothing that these people are saying? And they said a lot. We were taking notes, pages of notes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, indeed. All right. Let's get moving. Thanks.
Since we're on the topic of image, can we talk about some of the drawings of
Sure,
you during the sketch
sure,
art?
absolutely.
What do you think? What do you think?
My wife would show me a drawing every once in a while of a court case going on. I couldn't figure out who the judge was. And that's all serious. The sketch artist was awesome. She was very sweet. She was here every day, putting her life's work into those images. Because we didn't have cameras in the courtroom, that's the only visual that anybody got. She did a marvelous, marvelous job. I think I'm more handsome than what she portrayed overall, but I'll let everybody else figure that out.
Did the jury get it right?
Yeah, they did. You know why? Because they were picked based upon the law. They listened to the facts. They happened here in this very courtroom, and they got a verdict.
You hear that? They got it right. So that's from the judge.
Well, the judge is crooked too. But we ain't gonna go into that.
Okay,
Go ahead.
So that's the process, and whatever they say, they get it right.
There's going to be a lot of scrutiny over voir dire, and you denied the defense, and the dismissing of 3 jurors who at least identified as African American on their bioforms. What did you make of that moment?
Well, that's not exactly how it works. The defense didn't dismiss them.
I'm sorry, the defense raised an objection.
They raised an objection, yeah. They have raised an objection. Like I told you before, as long as I follow the law, I sleep well at night. And I'm telling you, I follow the law in that case. Did I know what the perception was going to be? Sure. I knew in the back of my mind what the perception was going to be. But I'm not here to satisfy perceptions. I'm not here to satisfy agendas. I'm not here to do any of those things. I'm here to follow the law. And I did it to a T. And I'm proud of that. Very proud of that.
Is this your last big trial?
So he's very happy with his accomplishments in regards to this trial.
I mean, you did a public lynching. That's what they normally do. They've been doing that since our ancestors, lynching us. So, of course, you're going to be proud. It's in your blood. It ain't on you, it's in you.
Okay.
It's my last big trial. The sad part about it is, I will tell you before I leave at the end of the year, I'll try a couple more murder cases, for example. The parking lot won't be full. The gallery won't be full of people watching the case. But we still have somebody who's died and someone accused of doing the killing. And it won't draw the attention that this case did. And their death is no less tragic than the tragic death of the young man in this case. And so, big trial, I guess, from an outsider's perspective and the social media and the media interest in the case. But crime still happens in Collin County, and every single person deserves to have as fair of a trial that Karmelo Anthony had.
What's your take on Karmelo Anthony?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You've had a lot of defendants in your courtroom.
I have had a lot of defendants in my courtroom, and I talked to Mr. Anthony a couple times because I'm legally required to go over some things with him. He seems like a nice young man who committed a crime, and he understands today, more than any day before today, the consequences of committing a crime like he did.
Last question.
Yes, sir.
The future of the justice system. What do you think about it when you realize you have all these social media influencers and citizen journalists?
Do you think he came to court into this trial already having his ideas made up about Karmelo Anthony?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right.
Let's not forget they got the black judge gone.
That's right.
Remember, they harassed her. They knew what was going on. This was premeditated.
Wow. This is
They ran the
something.
play. I guys like to say, the Mo3 said they ran a play on us. They ran a play on us. Ran the 42 fake out. They
Wow.
ran a play on us.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know. I hope that the judges that hear cases, period. I was about to say high-profile cases, but that's not it. It's just any case. Realizes the importance of their job, and their job is to be fair to the state and to the defendant, and to protect the people that come before them and make just and right decisions based upon the law. And if we can do that, that's great. The influence of social media, I think, is going to continue to impact our communities everywhere. And I hope that we can rely upon our justice system to weed through the noise and find justice for everybody who comes through our doors.
This is a personal question I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
Do you understand why the legitimate media had to be a pain in your ass?
Legitimate media. There's this guy named Jobin, who I think was probably the worst of all of them. And no, I didn't understand how he could be that way. Look, I absolutely understand the media's role in all this. I mean, it's the First Amendment for a reason. It is absolutely the First Amendment for a reason. But at the same time, a defendant has a right to a fair trial, and the prosecution has a right to a fair trial. That's also in the Constitution. And so you just have to balance all those interests. And I'll honestly say, I think I balanced it well. And I know I made people mad, but I'm not here to make them happy either. I hope that the Metcalfs think that their son got a fair trial in this courtroom, as do I hope that the Anthony family thinks their son got a fair trial in this courtroom. I certainly think he did.
Okay, so both sides got a fair trial. Would you believe? Amazing. Okay.
Did you feel the pressure of the other courts not being able to operate too?
So, of course, they're independent elected officials. They can operate if they want to.
Yeah, and some of them have.
They have.
Virtually. Yeah.
They have. We were trying to cut down on the sheriff's duty to transporting back and forth and stuff. And so I asked them if they could modify the way they are operating in court. They could go to Zoom like we did for a long time.
Okay, so we have a super chat here. Thank you for the support from Dim, please, I guess. It says the video with the M. Metcalfs. Okay, the interviewer asked about Jeff's whereabouts. As the mom get ready to say something, Hunter shushes her. But why? I keep hearing that. I would like to see that video. Any of you guys have information you could send me, I would appreciate. Okay, we have her. Go ahead, Queen. I didn't know if you wanted to say something or not.
Pick days that we
It's
want to
very
do, like
true.
First Tuesday.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
I'm sorry, that video does exist. She was about to say something and he shushes her and she drops her head. So we already know that kid runs that household. How about Jeff speak about how I don't know if he dislocated his shoulder bone, but they beat the HE double hockey sticks out of him. How about we talk about that? Them beating up on their parents. So they thought beating up on their parents, they can go out and beat up on somebody else. If you could beat up your own parent, of course you're going to feel like you're untouchable. Your parents birthed you. They created you. So of course you're going to feel like you can do whatever you want to do.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you. Thanks for giving us that background information.
Yeah, but it's up to them. Okay. It helped a lot that they cooperated. And by the way, that's one of the messages that I don't think I've been saying enough, is what we did here was a well-oiled machine. I've never seen a case.
Do you want that on the record?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, we're rolling.
Okay. The case that we tried here in Collin County was a well-oiled machine. I mean, Collin County should be the model for high-profile cases from here on out.
So this case should be the model for cases to come. What do you say about that?
Basically, he's speaking in code, y'all. He's letting us Black people know that if our kids get into any situation and harm the other side, that they're going to go down just like Karmelo. He's speaking in code. You just got to pick up what he's putting down.
Okay.
And that's because we started 8 months ago, and I met with anybody from facilities to IT to the audiovisual people to the sheriff's office. We constantly came together and met to make sure that Collin County was going to be a focus for a minute. And we wanted to make sure that everybody understood that, number one, don't come around and mess with Collin County. And because we're here for a job, that job is to make sure that everybody gets a fair trial and everybody's safe. And we want it to go seamlessly. And one thing that does worry me a little bit is people go, oh, this was a 5-day case with the evidence. 5-day case, it must have been cut and dry. I don't know if that's true or not. It was 5 days because I wasn't wasting anybody's time. Our community needed to heal quickly. They needed this case over one way or another, but the case had to be fair first. But we accomplished that, but it was a gargantuan effort by every single person involved in Collin County and outside Collin County. And so we're very, very proud of our county, all of our employees, all of our elected officials, all of our judges, everybody in getting this case tried quickly because our community needed it to heal.
Thank you, Judge, for talking with us.
Sure.
Okay, so there we have it. All the information in regards
So, Mel,
to... Yes.
I'm sorry. So he just totaled himself. They wanted to move quickly. So basically, you wanted to get it out the way. You didn't care about anything else. You were just trying to ship him off and get it out of the way. Anytime you have court on a Saturday, that's personal.
Yeah, very personal, right? Very personal. They're asking why no black jurors.
Well, the way Dominique explained it, it's about you know. Well, you know what? I didn't even blame the defense, the prosecutor when it came to the black jurors. I gotta blame the black jurors. Come on, man. We know damn well certain ways you answer a question when you know what's going on. You don't answer it as far as the truth. You think you told the truth on that
Right.
damn line? Do you honestly think that these white folks told the truth on how they feel? You gotta play the game how the game go. You are not supposed to tell the truth how you feel to get your butt on that what you call it. I blame us
Right.
for telling the truth. I could never send a black man to jail. You don't tell them folks that. You fake it till you make it. Go ahead, man. I'm
All
sorry.
right. Hey, listen, I want to thank you for coming on today. I know you're moving around and you have things to do. You stayed on far beyond what we had discussed, and I find you to be quite amazing. Thank you, and I hope you can come back on the channel because I can imagine this is only going to grow legs, especially with all of the misinformation floating around and a lot of ill feelings from people who don't even know one another. So thank you very much. Would you like to give us a closing statement?
Man, I would like to say, see, what I do, I respond to the chat. Do you have it to where I can respond or they can hit the link? Because that's what I do. I like to have dialogue. Now, one person here, man, I'm not trying to take every show to my, wow, she's showing her biasness. No, I'm not. I'm showing the truth. Now, if you believe that's bias showing the truth, well, then shame on you. This is the truth. That's nothing to do with being biased. And let me tell you something, even if I was biased, y'all stand by y'all's. Why we can't stand by ours? You see the judge and the prosecutor standing by each other. So why I can't stand by mine? Who said I couldn't do that?
I dropped the link just so you know if you want to invite whoever that person is up. They can come
Anybody
up and
can hit
talk.
the link. We can dialogue. Anybody can hit the link. I want all the smoke like a chimney.
Okay, guys, if you want to come up and have some dialogue with her, come right on up. You're the next contestant on the press on Watching the World. Come on and talk to her. She want to get to know you. Let's go. Hit the link. Come on in. I think we have 2 streams going. So the horizontal, if you go into the horizontal and hit the link, you can come right in. I think it's difficult on the cell phone, but let's come up, and especially for those that were giving a lot of pushback, here's your time to come and talk about it. All right. Let's see if we get anybody willing to come up and chat. Let's go. We'll give it a minute or two. And again, everybody, give a shout out to QUEEN88. Check out her platform. She covers a lot of cases and very important information, especially when it comes to the Texas area and around the world, I guess. So give a shout out to her. Do we have any takers willing to come up and get involved in the conversation? Who wants to come up? All right. I saw a lot of different comments. Okay, we have a taker. Here we go. Matthew, make sure you're dressed appropriately. We typically like to see your face, at least in the back chat, before you come up. I'm going to take a chance on this. Okay. Oh, okay. Matthew is good. Thank you, Matt. You could cut it back off if you want to. I just wanted to make sure. Sometimes we have some nudes come through and trying to kill the channel. All right, here we go, Matthew.
I understand, my brother. Thank you. How y'all doing?
All right.
All right. Was it true that Jeff Metcalf was nodding his head to the witnesses as they were on the stand?
Yes. He was also coughing as well. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make it official from someone who was in the courtroom, man. So when I make my argument, I can say this person was in the courtroom and and saw that. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where the Anthony's moved from. So we kind of take this personal out here.
Facts.
The dude took his family from here, from a high crime area to a low crime area, trying to make a better life for his kids. The kid, 3.7 GPA, never been arrested, no criminal background. They railroad this kid. And we just want to know why we can't see the facts or the evidence that was in the case and what was left out of the case.
Because it doesn't fit their narrative. That's why we can't see it. Because it doesn't fit their narrative. There's a
Right.
video out there. And then Eddie lied. You mean to tell me that a person is going to, a kid is going to whip out their phone and act like they're recording? Stop it. Baby, we record for less. Stop. We are in a
Right.
recording social media era. No, Eddie definitely has that video, which they probably end up getting that video, but want to keep it on the shh.
And by them saying the coach say he needs to step up and be a leader, was the coach referring to step up and be a leader and put your hands on people and physically move them, or step up and be a leader because I just had a problem with you the week before and had to suspend you from the team as a coach?
It was the latter. It was the latter.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Because basically the defense basically questioned him at the end and said, so basically you said this to kind of, motivate him to be a better man, that type of deal, not to go and be the Lord over the tent and throw people out with a linebacker press move. All right.
Correct. So why are they allowed to even bring that up in court? Step up and be. What relevance does that have to do with that? That's why I'm confused about.
Oh, okay. I could answer it for you.
Yes, sir.
James Brown said, living in America. You get it?
That's right. That's right. Do you think that Mello the lawyer defended him properly, or that he just did the best with what he could do?
No.
I felt Toby Shook did a fairly decent job. That's all I could tell you. But no, the answer is no.
Okay.
I can't even give you decent because how come you didn't pull up these interviews that Hunter and his mom did, basically showing that these witnesses are lying as to what happened on April 2nd, 2025?
Okay, I can answer it for you because the judge had such power that the I felt the attorneys were afraid to really pipe up and do a good job. That's what it was. Let's
So
listen.
judge intimidation.
Did you hear
Gotcha.
the well? Did you hear the judge tell the jury sit down? Told the attorney sit down. Tell the guy,
Yeah.
the captain, take your hat off. You know what I mean? So what
Yep.
happens is
Yep.
you don't want to tick the judge off. So that's why. Listen, I'm in New York. In 1 hour, you might get 20 objections with a good attorney because they're trying to throw out those objections so that they can file an appeal. The objections affect the appeal, right? So I'm gonna have Calvin Johnson, the criminal defense attorney. That's what our next show is going to be about, showing you how objections are so necessary. And in this case, you probably got 2, 3 on a good day. Come on.
All right. And the reason I ask a lot of these questions just to get y'all perspective, because I know the laws are different in Louisiana and Texas. And one of my best friends, he's a lead district attorney. So everything that I know what he do in court and watching him cover murder cases before, it just no objections to anything. It just seemed weird.
There was only 2, so I think that answers your question. Pretty much
Correct.
2. And again, it was a tough case from the beginning because I knew that the bringing the multi-purpose tool knife to the event was going to be very dooming. But hey, it is what it is.
Correct. All right, my brother. I appreciate y'all. I just want to ask y'all those few questions just to get some clarity for myself.
Yeah, maybe you could consider subscribing to the channel, coming back through, getting to know both of us if you don't know Queen
Well, yes,
88.
sir. Yes, sir, man. Well, I really noticed you first when you kind of was covering the Diddy trial,
Oh,
I
okay.
believe,
Okay.
and that's
I
why I
get,
first noticed
yeah.
you, and I just seen you come back up again. So I will subscribe, my bro.
All right. And definitely subscribe to Queen 88 too if you don't know who she is. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate both
Thank you
of
so
y'all.
much.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming through. Do we have any more takers that want to come up and have a discussion? All right. Well, Queen, I don't want to keep you all day because the next time I ask you to come on, I want it to
Trying to
be
get an interview
favorable.
set up.
Okay. All right.
But I know
Time you
you
got going?
told me your schedule for today, but the next time we'll do this again. Thank you so much for all you do. Would you like to give us give us your closing arguments? I would love to hear it.
Thank you so much for having me, Mel. Looking forward to our business relationship. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to him. He's the real deal. And my final words is racist, prejudice, bias. Free Karmelo.
Okay, thank you. Thank you to everybody for tuning in today. Again, thank you, Queen 88, for all you do. That was good. We had someone boots on the ground from the area to expound on the things seen and heard in court. She could also substantiate that I was in court taking good notes. That was good too, right? This case, as well as the case that I started off with that happened last night, right? These are serious issues in our country, and a lot of us may not pay attention. I find that a lot of adults come through and they say, oh, I'm not following the case or I'm over it. These type of subject matters are floating through the schools, affect your children. Are you concerned about that too? It's very important to pay attention to what's happening, what we're being surrounded with. It's important for us to try to find a better way because life is starting to get peculiar because I'm starting to see people coming out in public and saying vile things to one another. And sometimes it's not even the words, it's the agitation. It's driving up in a truck, playing music. You're going to stir up a whole crowd of people, maybe 1,000 people floating around. But this is the nature. A lot of these individuals, when we cover these cases, they're being paid. When I cover Luigi Mangione, people say, oh, I get $300 a day. And remember now, when I cover Luigi Mangione, it's 5 degrees outside. I'm freezing. I can't even feel my fingers. My nose is red as a beet, right? But these people are out there for that first day because they're being paid. They don't show up for the rest of the trial. So we covered the trial. I knew this trial was going to be tough just because of the nature of life right now, especially with the current administration. And then our country, we have we can't just have a unified country. It has to be blue and red. And then you have some people that are identifying as mushrooms. It can't be simple. And a lot of people are afraid to touch these matters, but believe me, I'm here for it all day long. And quite frankly, you heard Queen88. Oh, my, she's here for it too. So we have to touch on these subjects and try to find a better way. Let me tell you guys something. I never go to other people's channels just to say something negative and keep moving. To me, that's weird, especially something with a racial undertone. I'm not sure who teaches you that type of behavior. It's not intelligent, and most of the time, you're speaking on other people's intelligence, but you sit there and you listen and you engage in the audience just telling women how they are unworthy. What's wrong with you? What boat did you get off on? Who is your captain? Maybe you need to figure out a better way. I can't understand the mentality of antagonizing amazing people. We have a major issue, and here's the thing that I want you to understand. If anything, you walk away, and I think I can speak for Queen88. When you have a case with a major racial undertone, the biggest voice wins the day. So in other words, the biggest stations out there, they get to appeal to a broader audience. And I started off this video showing you where one of the most prominent names out there, she said there were 3 Hispanic women on the jury. No, it wasn't. So how do you get that? And you sit in the top seat of information. Fox News said that Karmelo had a 5-inch blade, but you have a representative in the court. Why can't they tell you accuracy is important? 3.5 inches was shown in court. So what happens is when you have the big news, right, and they come out there and they say it was 5 inches, and then you get a guy like me that was in the courtroom, and I come out and I pull out my little notes and I say 3.5 inches. They say you're lying because Fox News said 5 inches. It matters. It matters because you're pushing different channels are pushing narratives, and then people who are really trying to share the truth and help people to understand that, listen, at the end of the day, at least I could say, listen, both sides had some wrong to it. Number one, you have to tell your kids, listen, you can't take certain things into certain environments. If I travel, I take something to the airport, they're going to send me away. Okay. If I go to an event and I'm harassing a kid and I think I can hit him with a power move, right? What gives me the right to do that? You have to teach your kids you don't put your hands on other people's kids. If you don't put your hands on other people's kids, you would still be living. Does it make it right or wrong? No, that's not what I'm addressing. I'm saying both sides, the parents would rather teach kids this whole agenda about race rather than raise their kids to be intelligent and listen, behave yourself. You're not the Lord over anyone, right? You're not the Lord over anyone, and you need to treat people with dignity and respect. See, we live in a world where everybody only see color first, right? That's the first barrier. Then they look at your religion. Then if a person is gay or straight, happy or sad, if he identifies as a tree or a mushroom, right? You have to go through this whole maze before people can treat you with decency. And see, that's the problem that we're having. And I'm so happy to have on Queen88 today because you can see, even as a woman, she's not afraid to go there. And neither am I. And it's amazing as I travel around the country now, I'm starting to have a collective of people. We have Uda on Go in New York, right? And you hear Uda out there every day. He served his purpose for the Diddy trial because he was out there recording everybody coming in and out of the courtroom, right? I was in taking notes, and then Uda and I would get together and compare notes, and then we'd go tell our stories, right? If Uda needed me, I would activate right away. I'm coming, right? I'm bringing the heat. That's just how this thing is going to go down. So all I'm saying to you is we need to figure out how we got here. Why is it that people can have a trial? You see the judge say both sides got justice. And I'm sure when the judge says, I'm pretty sure Karmelo family received justice. All you have to do is go to the news and you can see they've said it on every platform they didn't get justice, right? Okay, so we really got to figure this thing out because we're all in the same country, right? And not only that, we have other people from different walks of life that get mixed into the pot with their philosophies and how they grew up. And some of them grew up in other countries, right? And I travel a lot. Recently, I traveled to a country where people don't, well, we'll leave that alone. But the bottom line is we have so many, it's a mixing pot. But until we figure out how to try to do better, I can't even say love because people say you're out of your mind. I don't love anybody. I love my family. That's the nature of life, right? And I'm not here to preach to you today, but what I have to say is this. For some reason, last night, this white kid was shot down after they took his iPhone. That's a real problem. And that happened not that far from me. I'm going to cover the case. They had masks on. I showed you guys today. So it's going to feed into that narrative, right? It's going to feed into it. I guarantee you, mark down this day that we're going to be at another courthouse and we're going to see people rolling up, ready to go to war because of what's happening. All right. So again, I don't want to go too deep into this, but I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I want to thank QUEEN88 and I thank all the people who came into the chat today and had an intent to just be reasonable, not even to agree, but just to be reasonable. And that's the beautiful part about this channel. We can have a discussion to try to figure out a better way, right? How to elevate despite the differences, because it's so easy to pick up something and knock somebody off, right? But that comes with its own set of problems. In this particular case, Austin lost his life. It's non-negotiable. He's out of here, just like that. On the other side, you have Karmelo Anthony, 35 years. The boy's only 19 years old. Imagine that, right? Both sides lose, and now both sides wants war. Folks, we have to come off it. We have to figure something out, or we might bite off more than what we could chew. Thank you very much. We're going to be on tonight for a open discussion about this case as a continuation of last night. Last night we had 80,000 people collectively on the two different streams, right? So a lot of people are coming through. It's going to be what it's going to be. But again, we do this because it's important to have conversation, because perhaps some of us could persuade others to be better people. I thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Until we see you again tonight at 8 p.m., be well and learn to treat people with respect, and also learn to respect other people's spaces and places, because it's very important. In fact, it could save your life.
Different voices, but the same song. Loving a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the thing remains. Embracing better days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. The colors of harmony painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.